All right, how's it going? My name is Kevin Lopez, and my persuasive speech will be on about illegal immigration. What I'm going to be doing here is I'm going to be trying to persuade my audience that illegal immigration is not as bad as people make it seem, and it should be somewhat tolerable in the country. Illegal immigration in today's world is becoming a big thing now in the United States. People are getting mad left and right, doing whatever they can to stop it. And well, here I'm going to explain, why it's not as bad as it really seems. All right, so an illegal immigrant, for those who you don't know, is a person who comes to the country illegally, and or one person that passes their given time. For example, one that just got a visa and passes their time. Um, there has been a lot of arguments on the news, on the internet, on the TV. People were taking polls if illegal immigrants should be let into the country or not. See, and with the illegal immigrants getting bigger and bigger, according to I think it's James Manuel Crostad from Pew Research, he says that an average rate of 11.2 million are undocumented in the U.S. and is still rising. So I would seem to understand, why some people are getting mad and protesting, doing the things they do, but as much as they could do, it really is not going to change anything. And really, as much as some would know and some wouldn't know, but actually illegal immigration actually does a lot for the country. I mean, it's doing a lot for economy as well. And you know, some Mexicans they don't come, well, not Mexicans, but in general, a lot of illegal immigrants don't come here to do bad for the country. They don't come here to create crimes. Most just come here to better their lives. Most just come here to have a give a little bit more to their family, have freedom. Not a lot of other countries have freedom like we do here, so a lot of people just make the effort to come over here. See, I would know from experience because my family actually came here from Mexico when I was younger, about 3 years old. And back then, my parents just wanted to make something better of us. He wanted to create a better future for us. We did come here undocumented, so this is why I'm also talking about legal immigration. We didn't come here to do anything bad. As a matter of fact, now we all, thank to God, we all have papers now, and now we're just doing whatever we can to be successful. Uh, but yeah, now that legal immigration isn't really as bad as it seems. I mean, it may be to you or maybe to some other people. It depends how you put it. But during my speech, I will be explaining why legal immigration is a plus and to try to persuade my audience by stating off facts and evidence to supporting my main reason of why it is not bad. So, first, by starting this, I will be demonstrating on why it has a benefit on the economy. Secondly, I will be explaining what Americans have to do to even try and reduce the amount of illegals or what they have to go through. And then lastly, my last thing, I will be explaining the big effects it actually has on families, when someone gets deported, what it can cause. So, first reason, illegals do have a big impact on the economy. They do a lot for the country. According to Ed Gray Wesky off of Reason.com, illegals actually work a low cost hard labor job for a lot of factories and companies in the United States. Without illegals, a lot of factories actually would go out of company, would go out of business, and due to a lot of people not wanting to work. And for example, you have a lot of people, and for example, I have a friend. He works in Seattle. He right now doesn't get too paid much. He doesn't get paid much money. He gets paid about $10 an hour. If he was to lose his job, who's going to want to come in and take his spot? Not a lot of people. For example, I wouldn't want to go in there and take a $10 an hour job for 50, 55 hours a week. Not a lot of people want to do that. And if really Mexicans are just taking jobs with people that don't want to do it. For example, people don't want to go in and clean tables, bus tables, be dishwashers, scrub floors, clean houses. They wouldn't want to do it. And because of that, it allows America to have a better, cheaper food. It allows us to, you know, uh, it allows us to have cheap. Sorry about that. It allows us to have cheaper food and better services. Kind of lost myself there. It states that about half of the U.S. Department of Agriculture were undocumented. It says And without these illegals, any potential immigration reform could have a significant drop in impact on the U.S. vegetables and fruit industry. So all those, like we live in Washington, and actually my parents, my stepdad is into agriculture, so he has a couple farms in Yakima where he has a couple of Mexicans working for him. If no one wanted to do that time, put in the hours, to do it, he wouldn't have no one to work for him. He'd have to go out there and look for someone else. So if they were to cut that, it would be harder for him to make money, and it would be harder for other people to make money. So thanks to illegal immigrants, our economy is where it's at, and we are still getting the produce and the vegetables we need. Same goes to California, everywhere else. Illegals actually too, they do pay a lot of money in taxes. I mean, some people say they don't, some others say they do. But for example, I work at a restaurant right now. I work with a couple of Mexicans that say they pay taxes. They do what they need. They pay their Medicare, and at the end, they never receive it. They don't want. And I ask them why do you never just do it? And it's like, because we were afraid of getting deported. So at the end of the day, the government is making a lot of money off of all these Mexicans in the United States. I guess it's like about 11.2 million undocumented Mexicans or illegals in the United States, and at the end they end up keeping all the money. So really what this all comes down to is that the government, I mean, I looked it up on the internet, I did a good research, and the government makes some good money off of the illegal immigration. They it keeps everything balanced out, if that's how I would say. Everything's where it's at right now, because if illegals were to leave, then food would go up higher. No one would want to work the jobs that people work now. Everything will change a little bit. Okay, what else could I talk about? So I think my second thing was that Americans, actually, the United States government, they actually do a lot just to try and get the, immigration, illegal immigrants out of the country. They try to make it reduce a little bit. So what I'm going to explain to you is I'm going to say, according to Mark Koboff of Routine.com, he says that it is estimated close to $94 billion estimated just to get just to deport illegals out of the country. See, that's a lot of money. With that money, we can be doing all sorts of other things instead of just worrying about them. And to take all the immigrants in the U.S. out, I mean, it would approximately take $400 to $600 billion and would have a huge impact on the economy. Like I was saying before, if we were to take them all out, who knows what could happen? No one's going to work the jobs. And it could probably have a chance of, making our economy go bad. And over a 5-year period, a total of $200 billion cost only to find, arrest, detain, process, and transport them. So really what they're doing here is just, it's kind of like a lot of money just to try and get people out. I mean, I understand to get criminals out, but don't you think some people should have a little bit of a balance here? I mean, that's a lot of money to try and get them out of here, All right, so that was my second reason was that they spend a lot of money when they could be spending a lot of money on something else, on other tragedies that are going around in the country that not a lot of people hear about. We could be spending all those billions of dollars on that instead of worrying to get legal immigration out, Just one little thing that the government could do to do something else. And my last reason was talking about how it could have a huge impact actually on the families of illegal immigration, families, So, like what President Obama once said in the USA Today, our laws should respect families following the rules instead of splitting them apart. And that makes sense because I've seen families, or I've had family friends, my mom's family friends that have been working 9-to-5 jobs, paying taxes. They might not be documented, but their children are, they're citizens in the country. Something little happens and they get deported. Who's going to be there to take care of the children? They just rip someone apart from the family. It's pretty cruel. Some established to work here. They get deep rooted into the country. Everything is, they make the USA their home, and they abandon everything behind just to get here and to give their family better children. And all of a sudden, everyone takes it away from them. That's kind of sad. That's a lot of that actually happens all around. Like, for example, my mom watches the Mexican news and that's always happening left and right. It's kind of a sad thing. And according to the statistics from the American Immigration Council, there was actually the deportation of 200,000 parents of the U.S. citizens within the last couple of years leaving their children behind. So that right there is a big number of how many families get ripped apart in the United States. I mean, it's kind of cruel how all these families get, ripped apart from the children, and yeah, it's kind of sad. All right. Well, I gave off my three reasons, and on how to persuade you that illegal immigration isn't a bad thing. And first, I started by explaining how it actually kind of somewhat benefits the economy. It actually doesn't do as bad to the economy as other people think. Secondly, I explained by what the government has to do to deport the illegals and what they have to pay. And lastly, I explained it by, just talking about the families and how they get ripped apart. It's time to face the facts that millions of illegal immigrants living in the United States are actually hardworking people. They're actually really hardworking. They pay their taxes and they obey the laws. Sometimes maybe we just gotta let them work and continue to make America somewhat a better place. I don't know. We were supposed to give off a picture. So here I'll be giving a picture. It's right here. You probably can't see that. See, this is actually on the highways at the very bottom next to the border. See, this picture actually means a lot because it's actually kind of like, it's sad. It's like, wow, that's a human being. We're all humans in this world. We're all the same, but just different race. So yeah, that's it right there. My works are cited at the bottom of the page, and I believe I'm at maybe 7 minutes, and I haven't checked, but all right, thank you very much.